Hello everyone, thank you very much for watching ICO Grill. Today we have with us Andrea Tainis, founder.
Hi.
Hi Andrea.
Sorry.
Andrea is founder of the Multiversum project and he's going to share a lot more information about it here with us now. Welcome Andrea.
Thank you very much and hi to all.
Great. Well, just to start, can you briefly explain what Multiversum is and why does the world need another blockchain?
Yes, Multiversum is a new technology, first of all, based on blockchain. Uh, as I am a software engineer, and so when I get in touch with the blockchain first time, I said, oh, what a great idea. It's possible to make data safe. And I start thinking, but I am not satisfied by what it does now. It's quite low, because quite few things, because blockchain at the moment can only save very easy data, let's say some part of text as proof of existence of real data present in another part, or it has to put inside data and have business logic separate to it, and someone say, okay, let's read the whole ledger and find the various information, for example, from one wallet, and Ethereum go to another wallet. And so I said, but corporations don't need that. Governments don't need that. They need complex data, because I worked as a software engineer, a software architect for Ministry of Internal Affairs of Hungary as director of research and development department. So I know how complex are data in real life. And they said blockchain is absolutely unable to represent these this complexity. Is just to put very simple information, proof of existence, and smart contract. Okay, I want to be honest, are not so smart. They are just please pay that bill when this happen. Corporations don't absolutely need this thing. So we are in a phase that is the stone age of blockchain, with the actual technical state. We have no absolutely the possibility to have the blockchain as the real database in a global database saved by hashes and by decentralization. And so I want to make a proposal to have a real database, a real relational database with different kind of records inside, with links that connect these records together. And so to use a formal language to ask for this data and make blockchain really usable for everyday life. I wanted to forget about the fact that if someone wants to develop in blockchain has to think about a project of millions and millions of euro. I want normal developers without any special knowledge about blockchain to take my libraries, integrate with their normal business application, concentrate on the business logic, and develop fast, easily, with the same cost of a normal application. So some thousands of euro, real complex application in blockchain. And this is our scope. So our scope is to make blockchain grow, to make it modern, to make it easy to develop, and in future, not my dream, because now it's getting reality day by day, is that when a developer make an application, a standard application that we use every day in postal office, in offices, in government, in business, he has to decide, okay, I want to save my data. Where? In a database, on a blockchain. I have to decide, but the logic is the same. And we are doing right that. So we are doing a platform to make blockchain usable finally, and we have three main products. We have one global ledger, and that is a pay per use. So A small and medium sized business can say, I don't want to make my own infrastructure. I prefer just to pay when I use it. If I use, I pay a little part of my token that we are selling right now in ICO, and uh, and stop. I don't have to pay licenses. I don't have any pay infrastructure. I don't have to pay people maintaining my system. So they pay and use our Multiversum ledger. The second offer is a corporate enterprise version in which we give a private ledger that can use also some kind of validation in the global one if they want. But they have it private. Not all the corporation want to have their data shared and public available. And then we give them some other instruments that are not available for the free version. And these instruments are, for example, a migration tool to migrate existing application or existing data to our technology with just the click of the mouse. And we are giving security auditing features. We are giving predictive components to say, okay, you have to add free node during 2019 because the growth is showing that you are expecting increase of data. And finally, we have the third package that is for governments. So governments have very strict rules for privacy, for security. They don't need to be transparent to the external. So often governments need to modify their data, to falsify their data because state motives. Let's think about anti-terrorism or witness protesting. They need to modify data, and so they need to have a system to allow to chat with the blockchain, but to be transparent with an internal audit. So they need to have a secure register that allow to make that kind of data modifiable but usable in blockchain and verifiable. So we are oriented to this kind of business, and now we are selling the token for which we can pay the use of a global ledger, and there will be a very interesting token economy, I suppose is may call it in this way.
Well, before we go there, can you explain what's exactly the difference between Multiversum and the other existing enterprise blockchain solutions already? So, because I know that there are a multitude of them already, and some of them operating, especially with banks and large corporations already researching them and deploying them. So what makes Multiversum the next level of that, or how is it different?
The difference of Multiversum is the other blockchain are quite almost a notary service. So they save in the ledger some data that is not easy usable. The data is stored someone else in the database of a firm, for example, because if you want to make a complex query, you are not able. So you just have to put textual information in blockchain and nothing else. We store real data like in a database because we are really a database in blockchain. So all our records have an hash and have an immutable state and a stack of states. That is really very technical for you. I can see your face saying, no, all my listener will sleep at that time.
How do you approach the scalability problem then? How are you able to process all that information through Multiversum?
Yeah, the scalability is quite easy to be reached with our technology because we have a free mechanism in our offer. The first mechanism is that our main chain can be able to be split in two. So when the workload is increasing, the main chain can say, I go in two directions, and each subchain can store the same amount of data of one chain. So we double the possible operation, and we can do that infinite time. So we have a theoretical infinite transaction per second. That is quite interesting. And this is one mechanism. The other one is sharding. Sharding means that we have a set of data and we break it in smaller parts, and we divide all the data for the nodes in a way in which if a node 4 is not available, the other node can have its content, and so we also have high availability. So we make the so-called map reduce pattern. So, for example, we send to the application a query, and there is a system to redistribute the query to all the node. But we send this query only to those nodes who have the data, not the one who has not. So we save a lot of energy, and we make every part of the cluster of nodes giving back a smaller part of the answer and then recompose together. So it will be faster. And the first thing is that in our platform, we can have a lot of application, not just one. Everyone can start his own application, and so not all applications are present in all the nodes. But to say this application will be just in these 20 nodes, and this other in these other 20. So we are sharing the workload.
Okay. So how do you compare then to the EOS platform that they also claim to be able to process millions of transactions per second and to allow people to develop dApps on top of their ecosystem? How do you compare it to them?
Yeah, they are great, but we are not comparing them with speed, because we think that speed is almost just marketing. If you think that Visa has in the pike, in the top of its usage, 4,000 transactions per second in the whole world, why do you offer millions? Okay, it's quite useless. We can say one server for us can make about 64,000 transactions. Is much more what market needs, and we can grow and grow infinitely, but it's just marketing. The real need is complex.
In terms of infrastructure and an approach to blockchain, can you compare both, or how are you different?
The difference is the structure of data. EOS also store very easy data, just proof of existence of data, and so it's not really usable. If you want to make an application with EOS, you can store data and then download the whole data you need, and then modify, rebuild the data structure with the logic inside. So it's something that is really hard to develop, slow to use, use a lot of resource, and is open to bug. So it will be always very difficult to develop such kind of blockchains in application in that kind of blockchains. So no one will really use. And smart contract, we have them, but I don't honestly trust in their future. It's just a crumble of what is very small specialization of what a blockchain can do. We are very global. We are just a base of data in blockchain. So everyone has an idea, can do it with a normal programming skills. And this is what market need, and I have to be honest that the market, the corporation are very interested in us. So we have contact with really big names of the IT sector, and they are asking us to discuss with them some kind of cooperation, because they are interested in our technology. So we have that names that you can read in newspapers. Of course, I can't tell you which ones that ask for making a project together and define cost of testing and try to define a common way in the future, because we are absolutely unique in the market and no one offer what we offer. So when I am explaining to the colleagues what we are doing, they say, "Oh, you are a game changer. I have a product owner of blockchain of corporations, so I'm the one that make billions and billions of dollars of income every year." Let's say, "Oh, wow, and you were able to do that. We are looking for that from 3 years and no one offered us."
So being the fourth generation blockchain is not just a hype word, but you're actually building something that is unique.
Yes, yes, we are building something unique, and we are building something that we know it is a need for corporation and business. For example, now we have, I can sell it because it is not the main target Italy. We have made a proposal to Italian government for making the voting system of Italy in blockchain with Multiversum, and it will be voted the 10th of June, and it has the support of the biggest Italian coalition.
Very nice.
And so I'm quite sure it won't be accepted at first step, because in Italy things doesn't work just like.
Yeah.
But it will be passed to another revision to have more people
So it's good that
involved.
you're having discussion at least about it.
Yes, yes, yes. But I suppose that my solution will be approved, but there are some political steps that in our political culture are necessary.
So what makes Multiversum suitable for voting, and why can't we use something else from the existing solutions right now?
It can be used better than our solution, because the voting system is something very complex that has electoral district, parties having candidates, people that can vote for one kind of camera, one for Senato, and rules are changing very fast. So we need a real complex data structure that is not available for our system. And
so basically you give the flexibility of the blockchain that smart contracts cannot provide
yes,
at this moment. Because once you do a smart contract, you cannot really change it afterwards. You need to
exact. Are very deep set, let's say.
Okay, so can you share a bit what is your current stage of development and what should we expect to see by the end of the year, let's say?
Yes, so we have many steps, and actually it's not yet publical, so you are the first one to know out of our group. I have decided that I am traveling in this period to go to Expo, and I decided to start the development with a group of developers. We are actually in about 12 people. And we started before the end of ICO, because I was not sleeping well, because I said, "Oh, what we are going to do is something very complex. Will I be able to do it?" So I was really sleeping bad, afraid of the future. So I said, "No, we have to start, because I'm not anymore happy." And so I decided that to do it better, to search in my group someone who has a good attitude in managing things. And I asked this guy to take control of the administration of the firm. So not taking strategical decision for partnership or decide the project, but just to manage the firm and the ICO. And he's doing really well. So actually, he's the CEO, Simone Costa, and I am the founder. the visionary and the CTO, so the one who will take care of the technical development. And so we started before, and I'm investing a lot of energy in doing that. And in this moment, we are 4 months before timeline, because we already developed all the libraries that make easy the integration of Java with our ledger. In a very few time, we will also finish the first prototype of the distributed, not decentralized, distributed ledger. And so in 3-4 months, we will have the solution for corporation and governments that want just to be distributed. And in 8 months, we can give the decentralized final solution. Of course, decentralizing is the last step, because when we decentralize, we also lose the keys of correcting bugs, making things smarter. So this will be the last step. But in 4 months, we will be available for the global ledger that will be in a test phase, suitable for errors, but people can start develop, can understand it, appreciate it, and
this will be the first like beta version in 4 months, or so what do you have right now? Can people see it and test it? Is it called open source, or is it private?
So now we have a wallet that is just a pilot. So it's demonstration that my theory of bringing a real database in blockchain, so using a set of rules that makes it possible to update the record, but keeping a track of all states is working, because colleagues say that was not possible to do that because blah 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 blah, and I demonstrated that it works, and this is something that we will keep and integrate in the infrastructure, but it's only pilot, and the code will be partially available because there are some industrial secrets.
Okay.
And the part that we are keeping secret is the integration of the libraries for integration between Java and .NET to the global ledger. The global ledger is open source. Everyone can know how work the node, how the node cluster is communicating, how the consensus is built, the algorithm. This is public, but the integration is just saying what is the magic that allow to transform some data in a database record. And this is our secret. But anyhow, we are giving for free the libraries, so everyone can use for free.
So how, in terms of security, how secure it is to be able to modify the data once that it is introduced to the blockchain?
So our data are absolutely secure, because we make a sort of net of crossed hash verification, so nothing can be changed. We are also making a side chain that is a utility chain that allow to increase the security, being a sort of distributed private key infrastructure. So something that conserve in a decentralized fashion all of the ID of user and application with their public key. So the security is warranted at many levels, and is absolutely the safest way to persist data. Of course, we can warranty it for 40 years only. After that, we can't know the technique how will proceed, because anything in informatics is safe. There is a different degree of safeness, And with our technology, we reach the highest degree, but we are not safe like anyone is, but we are the safest, at least.
All right. So going back to the token sale and the token use within the network, can you speak a little bit about that? What was the use of the token? Who would like to buy this token?
Yes, the token are bought by those people who need to have an application online. So you want to open a shop with Universum. We are also giving pre-compiled and pre-written software that just have to install or make some small difference. So we are making really user-friendly. And so if you want to persist the data of your application, you have to buy our tokens. Who need to read the data need to buy our tokens. So there will be a very interesting economy on it. We are trying to making it easy to meet the who receive the token in the nodes. You froze again.
Yeah.
Okay, now you unfreeze. So we are trying to make the economy behind the token interesting with the people who manage the node, who receive from the users contribution for their work, and they can resell in a secondary market this node to who is still using application and need our token to persist and read. We are making such kind of possibility that no data can be private, so only the owner can ask them, or payable, so the owner can say, I can allow other people to read my data, but they have to pay. And we are making us the possibility to anyone can just read all the applications. So this is also a kind of integration between the different application and the possibility to have a real global decentralized database that the whole human can say our knowledge is there, our intelligence is inside, our data for working, for living, is just stored in this global common storage.
So can you give some examples of what kind of projects can grow on the Multiversum platform?
Okay, I just made you the example of the voting system or the shop, what someone want to open a shop with just their own intelligence that pay for it. Or there are, for example, there is a group of, a group of shipping delivers, there's a global one, who has who want to make a common storage for storing all the information of parcel sent here around the world, and that they are interested in our technology because they deal with complex data. So every kind of application, from the simplest ones to the most complex one, can take advantage of the way in which we deal with data, because we make it really easy, really the standard way to program. And so the developers that develop with the Multiversum system just can concentrate on business logic and not on hashes, consensus, and strange things that make things expensive, open to bugs. We take care about that, and we cover with a layer of abstraction, and we say, just persist in the blockchain. We made it for you with our
So
knowledge.
we will be able to communicate with other blockchains, like to integrate with other existing ones.
Yes, actually, we are also bonding a partnership with many other blockchains just for that, to share technical knowledge, to share tips for marketing, to share cost, and
Yeah,
to
I
be able.
mean for
Yes,
this.
yes, yes, yes. But also, yes, I took it large, but also to allow a common interface to be realized, so we can integrate each other and we can communicate. So for example, we have defined a partnership with Pecunio, that is a great ICO, and we are trying to understand how to work together. We spoke with them, and they are launching a very interesting project that is about making a shared file system. So you have to save your pictures somewhere. You don't have to pay. You have just to put in blockchain, and it will be persisted. And with them, we want to make the distributed file system plus the distributed database. And we think that we can be able to make a distributing operation system with them. But it is just something we have to define better. But we have very, very big programs.
Great. Well, speaking of the token sale, how much tokens will be issued, and will this be a limited amount? What's the token sale anatomy here? Can you speak a little bit about that?
Okay, it is quite complex because we have 141,000 token. Sorry, 141 million of token, and only 35 millions of dollar of hard cap, and one token cost $1. So we have a difference quite big, even if we count bonus and anything else. So we have we projected to have at least 80 million of unsold token. It is a very big amount. And because we want to make, please?
What are you going to do with it? Why did you decide it this way?
We will make a weekly airdrop. So every week, to the people who hold our token, we'll have some free token. And we made it because we know that we are not the usual smart contract that can be developed in 1 week by one developer in the basement. And this is the reality, even if people pay millions of euros for our ICOs. But there is a work that can be done very, very fast and easily. We are making a platform. We are making probably 12 months of deep intensive development. So we need to compensate our investors. So we need to give something that keep them in for a longer time, and to justify the holding. And of course, we will also feed the market with news. We feed the market with the state of the development, saying, okay, you can test the net, you can test the drivers, you can test the libraries. We made partnership, but we also want to give a tangible advantage to hold. And so we think that if people are pushed to hold, there will be a very bad balance between ask and offer, and the price of token will go up, and even more people will be interested in running nodes and using our technology and having our token. So I think this is a very good model for sustaining our economy.
Okay, so can you share when the crowd sale is scheduled to start?
Oh, it already started, and it started the 1st of May. And in this moment, we are about near to $8 million. And as I know, we are starting some quite interesting pools that each one is for 1,500 Ethereum, and we have many of them. So we think we can go very, very close to the hard cap. We are also making a lot of promotion. I'm going to every expo I can. I have been to Dubai. We have been in Global Expo of London. We are going now to Consensus, and after Consensus, I go to Summit of Blockchain in London, in which this is not an expo, it's just a real summit in which we sit at the same table with big dogs. We sit and we discuss with IBM, Deloitte, DHL, with Oracle. We are just sitting and take agreement with big partners and the European Union. And I hope that in this setting we can really influence faster the future of blockchain and be the main product for 2018, 19, 20, and some years to go.